All right, guys. So this has been something I've been anxiously anticipating. This is something I've been waiting for. Like any and all news regarding this movie. This is one of my most anticipated movies for the year, and we have some big news coming out of this. We have some major news, and I'm very excited to talk about it. Let's talk about the announcement for Toho's next Godzilla film. Now, for those who are unaware or forgotten, because this was kind of left in the dust for a bit, but basically, let's catch you up on something. Let's catch you up on a few things. One, it was announced during Godzilla's last year's anniversary that they would be doing a new Godzilla film, and it would be premiering this year, this November. And it was also announced that it would be directed by Takashi Yamazaki, who had directed the CGI parts for the Godzilla ride, as well as a scene from his original movie called, I think it was called Sunsets. I can't remember. It was something Sunset. I can't remember. But it was that scene we all thought was the preview for a new Godzilla film from Toho. You know the one. But yeah, Takashi Yamazaki will be the director of this film, and we are getting... and that was really it. But recently, Toho's official site had been doing a countdown, and they were essentially just kind of like, oh yeah, we're just counting down and we'll get some news. And today is that day. They less than an hour ago, as of this recording, they have announced a lot of news regarding this. I'm going to give my thoughts on this. I'm going to give my genuine thoughts on all of this. So let's get started with the story. The story is that this will be set... Actually, let's talk about the title first. And it's a very fascinating title. This is going to be called Godzilla -1. We all thought it would be the original title was Godzilla 0. Instead, it's going to be Godzilla -1. I don't know what that means, honestly. I really don't... I don't know what that means at all. I am very confused. But Godzilla -1... The story is that it's set during post-war Japan, and it will once again show Godzilla as this terrifying, overwhelming force. And the concept is that the trailer has been... Well, there's a concept for the movie, is that Japan has already been devastated by war and faces a new threat in Godzilla, pushing the country into this place called the Minus. Now, that sounds like some Stranger Things bullshit, and if you know Toho, you know they really like to be inspired by American cinema. And what's popular in American cinema? Stranger Things. So maybe the minus is like population count, or maybe the minus is like an upside down. We don't know. I'm very curious about that. This is a new, different kind of Godzilla. We do get a design, and I'm looking at it right now. I didn't want to post it because Toho is a cruel bitch when it comes to copyright stuff. The design of Godzilla in here, it looks very much like Yamazaki's Godzilla design from his ride. He's got a more hunchback, he's got longer arms. It's very much like a fusion of legendary Goji and 2000s. It's a very distinct Godzilla design. It's a very fascinating and distinct Godzilla design. The big thing with this is that the major thing is that this is going to be set directly after the war. Rather than like the original 54 movie, this Godzilla will be set apparently directly months or maybe even a year after World War II. We have Japan is still cleaning up and coming back from the damage that Godzilla left behind. A lot of people did suspect that this movie, when it was called Godzilla 0, would be set during World War II. And I was like, well, how does that work? Because for Godzilla to be here, you need the atom bomb. But then I thought about Shin Godzilla, and I was like, well, Shin Godzilla was a different continuity altogether. So that was a fascinating take. So this was going to be a fascinating take if it was going to be set during World War II. But the fact that we're going back to an era of Japan that is like... Because remember, 1954, that was about 9 years after the bombs had been dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Then they were still doing, damage control. Because you don't really, you don't just walk away from getting 2 atom bombs dropped on you. But the thing of it is that if this is set closer, then we are in the thick of the repairs. the transition of the empire to a democracy. We are in a lot. This is Japan. If this is closer to post-war Japan, like this is a lot of people are speculating, then this is a time period that is a very fascinating time period, because this is going to be set Tojo being deposed, and the reformation from a dictatorship to a back to a democracy. Because that was the thing a lot of people forget, is that Japan was a democracy for a while, and then, nationalism happened. So that led to a lot of problems. But that was... what was I saying? That's going to be a very fascinating look, if that's true, to see like this new government that is still dealing with the Americans who are like kind of helping to reform this new government. You also have the worldview is a lot different. We're still coming back from a war, and I think Godzilla's always been a metaphor for Japan's state of mind in a lot of movies. Like Shin Godzilla was about the government's response to the flood and nuclear fallout in 2011. Godzilla 1954, response to how Japan reacted to it was a take on the nuclear bomb, of course. So I think Godzilla works best when he is this metaphor talking about the state of certain like the state politically and environmentally of Japan. So I think that's a really cool idea. Now, the other thing that really got everyone like, holy shit, what's this, is that according to one of the writers from the movie, this will share the same continuity as Shin Godzilla. Now, a lot of people are like, wait, really? How does that even work? Because Shin Godzilla, that was the first time Japan had ever seen something like Godzilla. In fact, they didn't have a name for it until the Americans said something. So I'm curious, so are they going to say, like, whatever, this Godzilla is different from that one? Or did the government try to cover up that Godzilla with the help of the American government, and maybe that's where they got the name from? We really don't know. So it's kind of a pseudo-prequel to Shin Godzilla, if that is to be believed. But that's coming from the writer, directly from the writer of -1. And again, I really have to wonder, like, what is the minus? Is it like public opinion? Is it population? Is it like some fucking universe is this a Godzilla from another universe, like Godzilla, like the second Godzilla anime? Who knows? We really don't know. But we also have some good news in that this Godzilla movie will be not only premiering in Japan in November, but on December 1st, it's coming to America. Now, I don't know if it's like select theaters like they've been doing, or if it's wide release. I haven't. That's all they've said, is that it'll get a theatrical release in America on December 1st. They haven't said wide or select theaters. I'm kind of leaning towards select. I'm thinking it's probably going to be select theaters, because that's how they've been making banger money on select theater showings of Shin Ultraman, Godzilla, and Shin Kamen Rider, and their other theatrical events. So I would not be shocked if that was the case. If it is, but I would actually be shocked as hell if it's a wide theater release. I would like if it's not a select theater, and it's wide release. I think every Godzilla fan will immediately shit bricks. But yeah, so yeah, I'm very excited. So you guys tell me in the comments below. What do you guys think of the news of Godzilla -1? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? What do you think the minus is, and how do you think this will tie into Shin Godzilla? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.